Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts 2 playthrough. Yeah, these are the gummy ship missions. I said I wasn't going to be showing them off, but you know what, I think I'd be remiss to at least not show off one or two just for the sake of... At the very least for people who are going for, you know, the 100% secret ending that, again, you need to get in order to, you know, view it. This is pretty much the missions you're going to be tackling, one of two specifically. This one is, well, mission 1 is usually the get all the medals missions, which... Well, you know what, we'll see after this, gearing up and getting ready to fly sequence that I kind of would enjoy. Yes, getting ready. Charging up the gravimetric warp drive. Calibrating the twin ion engine thruster gazintrix. What the fuck? I have no idea what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm just talking pish, really. Anyway, in terms of the gummy ship missions, there are actually 3, although you only unlock 2 if you complete the critical mission path, so, yeah. Yeah, you know what, yeah, I'll agree with that, Goofy. But yeah, as you can see, you have pretty much 2 sub-bars, whatever. But again, basically, you see those yellow dots flying about space when you defeat enemies, pick those up, and that basically means you get more medals. The way these levels work is that basically it works on, well, the Japanese ranking system. Basically, get the minimum amount required for the mission, and you pretty much get E rank, continue to get more after that. I can't remember what the threshold is to increase in rank, but eventually you'll go from E to D to C to B to A, and finally S, although I can't remember if you get that at the end of the level, or if it's something you can get during it. Whatever, the point is that basically get all the medals you can and you should be golden, and unlike the critical mission path, they do change up the amount of enemies that you need to face, I guess either so that you can reach the quota of medals that you need to get, or I guess for the sake of making things a bit more challenging. And again, that's pretty much all she wrote. You're pretty much going through the same general route, it's just like the frequency of enemies and, well, having an additional, you know, an additional objective tacked on. Now, the second mission we're probably going to be tackling a little bit later, so I'm not going to talk about that just yet, but there is the third tier of missions that only happens, I think, either when you get an A rank on both the missions, or at least if you score a high enough rank, is the high score thing, which does change up the game mode at least a little bit more significantly than what you're seeing here, because, I mean, it's still pretty much the same on-rails shoot-em-up stuff that you see in here, except for the high score mode, which is mission 3, yeah, you can actually control the camera, and you need to manually move it around so that you can target enemies and, I guess, maximize your score. But again, this is all an exercise in tedium, and I'm not really going to be doing it. Although, that being said, a lot of people have spoken high glowing praise of the gummy ship segments in Kingdom Hearts 2, and again, like, as you can see here, it's easy to understand why. Like, I mean, it's very fast-paced and frenetic, and again, we're going to be seeing more as the games go on, and again, you do continue to unlock blueprints, and you can create your own custom models, so again, if you like this kind of thing, you can have a lot of fun with the missions presented to you, and again, in some cases, I guess maybe even doing the gummy ship missions could be a lot of fun. It's just that for me, it's really more of a way from going to point A to point B. I do find it quite fun, but, yeah, that's pretty much all she wrote, really. And, yeah, given the current gummy ship model we have being a bit pish, yeah, we're not exactly going to be defeating this fucking Babby's first shoot-em-up thing. Right here, right now. Yeah, we don't exactly have a lot of firepower. And to kind of disseminate between the gummy ship models themselves, again, some prioritize offensive capabilities, so again you'll have more weapons, others prioritize defense, and others prioritize, health. But again, like with all the gummy ship parts that you can get by defeating certain enemies and getting certain upgrades and gummy blocks, again, you pretty much can create your own custom models and, you know, create a gummy ship that's a lot more fast, has a lot more defensive capabilities. So again, depending on your creativity and love for this mode, sky's the limit, really. And of course, this is mission 2 that we're just jumping right into the action of. And this is pretty much a kill all enemies mission. You pretty much have to kill enemies, well, at least a minimum of 200 enemies to kind of defeat it, but unfortunately, this gummy ship is a bit pish when trying to go for your personal best, so yeah, you're going to be witnessing death. By the way, is this Heartless ship meant to be like Kurt Caesar? Because the design is incredibly similar. I don't know, I guess maybe they had the model and they just sort of mess with it a little bit. Queashed. But, yeah, I mean, again, you're not really penalized too badly if you fail the gummy ship missions. I mean, You will complete them relatively fast enough, but at the same time though, it's kind of annoying. And again, it does also show low-level capabilities. I mean, I do complete all the mandatory gummy ship segments with this base ship model, for story purposes only, but I don't know. I also really like the music, like again, I hate to kind of inject Sonic into everything, but the soundtrack right here does give me a Sonic the Hedgehog kind of vibe, and it's really catchy, really energetic, and I quite enjoy it. Although I will still say though, like, I mean, I do think there's kind of a middle ground to be met between the Kingdom Hearts 2 gummy ship segments and the Kingdom Hearts 3 ones. At least in terms of, like, nailing down the exploratory elements, but also getting fast-paced and frenetic, like what we're seeing here. I don't know, maybe Kingdom Hearts 4 when it comes around, who knows really, or if they're even gonna have gummy ship segments since Quadratum seems to be the big hub world area, or at least if the current thoughts are to be believed. But alas, oh dearie me, the gummy ship is broken apart and we're all dead! Or maybe that was all just a dream Sora had. Dream drop distance. Ba-dum-tsh. Anyway, that's Cure. And as you can see here, the difference between Cure from Kingdom Hearts 1 and Cure in Kingdom Hearts 2, I guess maybe to stop people from abusing it so much is that, yeah, rather than taking up a small part of your MP like it was in KH1, here it pretty much eats up all your MPs, so, yeah, it makes potions and items a little bit more useful this time around. Although, then again, your Cure, I think, has not only enough range to heal Donald and Goofy as well and revive them if they're taken down, but at the same time it also means that, well, it means that you can't abuse it as much, which, I'm kind of at ends with, to be honest, because, like, I mean, yeah, at the same time you can't abuse it, but you also gotta pick between, you know, okay, do I want to use my limit breaks, or do I want to use Cure and heal myself? I mean, again, you can use the, bloody, you know, the items, like, you know, high potions, mega potions, all that kind of stuff, if you so choose, but, again, you only have, like, a limited inventory slot to draw upon those from, so, yeah, wish in one hand, shit in the other, it seems. But, I mean, all the same, it is still good to have Cure on hand when you need it. And, of course, to finally get a bit more use out of the Valor form. Valor form can be actually quite useful, again, like, I mean, if I have, like, specific guard breaks, or, you know, especially with the Fat Bandits and the... Fuck, I forgot what the base versions are called. I'm just gonna call them the Fat Asses. Again, if they have good defense, then they can pretty much fuck up your combos and, you know, not let you get through. Unless you manage to get the guard breaks working pretty quickly, in which case you can actually, you know, do some pretty decent damage. But apart from that, Valor form is also pretty good for launching enemies in the air and, juggling them like so many juggling balls. I really wish I had Valor form, because then I could have reached that puzzle piece. Woe is me. And now let's talk synthesis. Basically, unlike Kingdom Hearts 1, where you, or Kingdom Hearts Final Mix specifically, where you had a lot of Heartless and, you know, specific special enemies to grind from, Kingdom Hearts 2 kind of streamlines that whole process. Again, you have specific materials that you can mine from Nobodies and Heartless alike. And again, these are... excuse me. These are pretty much gotten as you progress throughout the game. Like, I mean, again, you don't need to worry too much about grinding specific enemies, because again, if you're pretty much... I mean, again, having stuff like Lucky Strike or the Lucky abilities that you can equip later on does help a lot in terms of getting some of the rarer drops, but at the same time, it's also something done along with the game, so... You know, again, if you're progressing with the game, occasionally returning to the Moogles and giving them your synthesis materials, you'll not only be given... specific crystals that you need to make synthesis easier, but you also have abilities that, again, tie into the specific equipment you can farm, and of course, eventually forging the Ultima weapon and Donald and Goofy's Save the Queen and Save the King weapons, so... Yeah, to put it bluntly, aside from my word salad of a mouth, yeah, synthesis is made a lot easier in this game, and done gradually as you progress, so... All's good in the hood. The only thing I think you'd really have to go out of your way to get is from, like, Nobody drops, but even then, that's only, like, one or two specific ones, like, the Dancers, and I think... I can't remember what Zelda... Oh, spoiler there. What the Superior's Heartless... the Nobodies are called. They might be called Wizards, I can't remember. Anyway, that's synthesis. I'll probably waffle on about that at a later date, but now it's time to go to the Land of Dragons. But it is blocked. And I just want to bounce on walls and stuff. Unfortunately, it doesn't do it as much as I like, so we don't get boing 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 like we're playing an intergalactic game of Pong. But Yes, yes, stop beeping to the music, you little bitch, and get moving. Yes, you've had your fun. Now let's get on with it. Anyway, let's get ready for takeoff. Hold on, raising the platform. Calibrating the navicomputer for excess space travel. Locking into position. Readying gravity ramps. I really have no idea what the fuck I'm saying. Yeah, much in the same vein as Kingdom Hearts 1 though, like, I mean, the difficulty does gradually scale up, obviously, but at the same time though, it is completely manageable, even with your base ship, as I'm going to be showing off. So again, you don't need to worry too badly, except when those Heartless sneak in behind you. Although, I will say that if you are going to stick with the base gummy ship models, holy shit, you are going to be in for some close calls here and there. And now we're finally learning about HP orbs. Something we probably should have learned about in the first segment, since we got them there too, but whatevers. Yeah, thanks, fucking Chipper and Dipper and fucking shitface. But yeah, we also have, again, you also get different musical tracks and obviously different locales to look at, and just enjoy the vast expanse of space. I do kind of wish they would, well, again, I did kind of say this in the previous part that they do incorporate elements of the worlds into the gummy ship segments. Not really too sure what this is meant to be incorporating for the Land of Dragons. I mean, I don't know. I suppose I could talk about some enemies and hazards that you come up against. I mean, again, you have the piss ships that only exist to give you medals. You have ones that shoot the fucking 1950s alien death beams. You have some that just sort of bugger around a bit and jitter left and right until they explode in your face if you don't kill them quick enough, so you do have a fair amount of variety of enemies to face. Again, you also have some that are pretty big damage sponges, but also have big payoffs, whether it's, you know, with rewarding you gummy blocks or with, you know, big shieldy fuckers. So again, I suppose I can see why Kingdom Hearts 2 had people a lot more excited to play the gummy ship segments, because not only were there different enemies for you to face, but also with a more frenetic pace. But again, you also had a different variety of ways to take out your enemies, which I suppose encourages you to think a little bit more, therefore stimulating the action part of your brain and then doing the thing that makes game playing making fun with the brain. See, that's why you go to Solidus-Skully, for the fucking most intelligent way to disseminate your tangents. I mean, really, I might run out of stuff to say with these gummy ship segments, because, I mean, as exciting as it is to look at, it's, well, I mean, it's also just shooting shit. Which, I mean, you can really only talk about for so long before it becomes dull, without excess things to talk about. I also, once again, have to draw attention. I think I might have brought this up in Kingdom Hearts 1, but are there actual nobodies piloting these ships? Like, do we have Dusks, like, doing their fucking X-Wing thing? Red 5, Porkins, the nobody of Biggs and Wedge. That is to say, the Star Wars Biggs and Wedge, not the Final Fantasy Biggs and Wedge. But I mean, anyway, this shouldn't take too long. Just gotta dodge this meteor storm that continues to pelt our ship with rocks. Us. Yes, indeed, we are truly the best. Simply the best. So, in that case, we're going off to the Land of Dragons. So on that note, I am Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, and, yippee-yo-ki-yay, fill apart, oh! Anyway, I'm gonna sign off and go to Wike. Catch you next time.